And the National Cabinet has agreed to expand a pilot program allowing a small number of seasonal workers to arrive in Australia to assist in the harvesting of fruit. Under the Pacific Work and Seasonal Worker programs, these workers will be granted exemptions from Australia's ban on international arrivals. And for more, I'm joined now by Rachel Mackenzie, the Executive Director at Berries Australia. Good afternoon and welcome to you.
Good afternoon.
How welcome is this announcement to your industry?
Oh, look, it's extremely welcome. We were very concerned about how we were going to access sufficient workers for the upcoming season, and this certainly takes the pressure off for some growers, although it is only part of the solution.
And so I understand that the need isn't as pressing in your sector right now, but for some other industries, how quickly do they need workers on the ground?
I think it's really important to remember that we are picking fruit and vegetables all around Australia all of the time. So I would consider that there are many regions who are anxiously awaiting these arrivals, and obviously the mango industry, which has already had some workers come in, is very grateful for those workers.
And so can you tell us how this is going to work this year? Will farms be engaging seasonal workers themselves, or will there be differences in the program because of the pandemic?
This program is already heavily regulated and managed. So the people who access these workers are already what we call approved employers. They have to get over quite a high bar to actually be given that opportunity. So they have to get their accommodation approved, they have to present financial records. There's a whole heap of things that they have to do to be part of this program. So we would assume that those requirements are not going to decrease, they will in fact increase. And there's also a strong message that it's up to the state governments to work out what the quarantine arrangements are and engage formally with the Australian government to let them know if they do in fact want workers in their state. So we need to be able to convince the Chief Health Officer in each state that we can actually manage these workers and don't present a risk to the population.
When you say the workers themselves need to show financial records, is that to prove that they can support themselves? Because, of course, we do wonder whether there might be more outbreaks in the future and whether any particular workers might be stranded in a location.
It's actually the growers who have to provide financial records to demonstrate that they are able to pay and support those workers while they're here. So like I said, it's a pretty high bar. They are known for looking after those workers, and I'm sure as part of the negotiations that we are doing state by state, we will be working through all of the requirements to make sure that those workers are protected and the general Australian community is protected.
Do you anticipate that there may be problems moving workers between farms if there are outbreaks?
I think that those are things that we are going to have to discuss on a state-by-state basis, because obviously each state has different rules around this. So it's difficult to project forward at this point, but I think we need, in our scenario planning, to investigate those kind of circumstances.
And how soon do you expect workers will begin to arrive?
It's a very difficult question to answer, considering the announcement was only made on Friday, and obviously there's a lot of things that we need to do in the background to ensure due diligence to make sure we're doing the right thing. But I would hope that those workers are in situ for the start of the summer season, sort of moving into late September, early October, but that may be optimistic.
Rachel Mackenzie from Berries Australia, terrific to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.